The Court hearing arguments today in Mexico's lawsuit against U.S. gun manufacturers. Mexico's government actually wanting U.S. gun makers held liable for guns trafficked from the U.S. into Mexico. Our senior Washington correspondent Devin Dwyer has been following this case for us. Devin.
Kira, Mexico only has one gun store, but millions of American-made weapons flooding the streets of our neighbor to the south. By one estimate, more than 200,000 U.S.-made guns are trafficked south of our border into Mexico every year. And of course, many of those cited as being responsible for the hundreds of thousands of murders in Mexico over the past few years. Today, the Supreme Court took up that violence in a historic case brought by the government of Mexico seeking to hold American gun companies liable for illegally sending those weapons south. Mexico alleges that companies like Smith & Wesson, Glock, Beretta, Colt all knowingly aided and abetted the illegal sale through their manufacture, distribution, and marketing of guns to the cartels. Now, the companies today in the Supreme Court pushed back. They say they are immune from any lawsuits under a 2005 federal law. They also argued that they're pretty far removed from the actual crime on the streets in Mexico. And the justices, Kira, were very sympathetic. It did seem today that the conservative and liberal justices seemed to agree that opening the door to these kinds of lawsuits could actually damage the U.S. economy as a whole. It's also not clear that this would be even allowed under the federal law that Congress passed a few years ago. But so many gun violence survivors and gun violence advocates are watching this case closely. It's the first time the Supreme Court has taken up this issue, and they have hoped for many years to be able to bring gun companies to account in the courts of law. We'll see what the Supreme Court says when their decision comes out in June. Kira?
All right, we'll track it. Devin, thank you.